Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Retro Cup, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Lanturn. Lanturn has a very unique role in this Retro Cup meta because it is one of the best answers to the two most commonly used ghost types in the meta, that being Froslass first and foremost, as well as Jellicent. It will be in the back, along with Lickitung on the safe swap. Lickitung, always a very strong and powerful safe swap option. And it is yet another answer to the ghost types that we see running rampant in the Retro Cup meta. Also good at drawing out Metachams or any other pseudo fighter so that Deoxys can come back in, take it out, and clear the way to allow Lanturn to roam free and wreak havoc in the Retro Cup. This Lanturn Retro Cup team was absolutely putting in the work, especially with leads like this. Had a Dunsparce lead, they make a play in the Froslass. So generally with a Dunsparce lead, there will at the very least be a Froslass in the back. So you are safe to insta-swap, because they're going to do the same. There's no way they stay in on a Deoxys lead. And the reason why you want to insta-swap is to not allow the Froslass to get too far ahead on energy, because if you allow Froslass to get significantly ahead on energy, it can get out of control. But it's still okay. Even if they are ahead by a Powder Snow or two, you still do quite well. You're quite comfortable in this matchup. And you always want to be meeting the Froslass with your Lanturn. Lanturn is the hardest check to Froslass on this team, and they are putting up a fight, shielding in this mid-game matchup. This is not going to happen for them. We just thoroughly outpace, and these Surfs with Stab just really add up, and they're double shielding their Froslass. It's not going to happen, and they catch! They make a brilliant catch onto a Trevenant. That's okay, guys. That is a-okay. Enjoy this Lickitung. That is what I was thinking in the moment. And we're just going to lick this Trevenant all the way down. We do not even have to throw a move. That is how dominant this matchup is for Lickitung. They can throw all the seed bombs they want. It will not help them in the slightest bit. We're just licking this thing all the way down to Funky Town. It's a thing of beauty. So you don't often see a Trevenant in the back on this team. It's usually a Jellicent, but it works just the same. Lickitung is just as dominant up against Jellicent as it is up against Trevenant. And they come back in with the Dunsparce. We're absolutely loaded, so we will begin to unleash these body slams that we have stored upon this Dunsparce. This is all just icing on the cake. Yeah, we've got another one locked and loaded here. And it will not KO, but we'll be getting the Dunsparce relatively low. And gonna look to make it to another body slam if they allow, but no, we actually decide to catch. They caught on us, you know, we wanted to return the favor and make them waste a little bit of that energy just to further exert a little bit of dominance in this matchup. Sometimes you just gotta let them know, guys, I'm telling you. Ah, man. So we do shield up the Avalanche, and I wanted to throw two more because I thought that they were one off from the Shadow Ball. I knew that we were going to have to throw a move here, and I wanted to be as close to another Psycho Boost as possible, but I was one off on my counts. But Deoxys, the bulk, coming in clutch. We take out that Froslass, and we get to another Psycho Boost. Although debuffed, it's definitely going to be enough to allow us to say bye-bye to the Dunsparce. Deoxys, not often closing the game strong, but it came in clutch in this one. Good game, well played. Oh, I cannot tell you how many times we encountered the Dunsparce double ghost team. This Lanturn team loves that team. Here we go, right on cue. There's the Froslass. Did you see that insta swap, guys? That's how fast you want to be swapping. If you see Dunsparce, you're going into Lanturn immediately because they're going into their Froslass, and you don't want to allow that Froslass to get too far ahead on energy. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Lanturn is what you are meeting the Froslass with every single time because it is quite dominant for Lanturn. The Surfs, they don't hit for super effective, but they hit for neutral and they have stab. And just as you can see there, we even win in the zeros. We won the last one in the twos. We won this one in the zeros. It's quite dominant for Lanturn. And then they generally come in with the Dunsparce, as we see here. and you just want to be throwing your surfs, and they allowed us to get a spark through. They did not throw with proper timing. So rank 1 Lanturn lives this and is able to get to another surf. Holy smokes. That's why it's very important to throw with optimal timing. If you run a 3-turn fast move and you're up against someone with a 2-turn, you want to be throwing on odd numbers. And there's the Jellicent right on cue as well. This team absolutely claps that team. Anytime you want to top left my friend, you go for it, and they do. It was not going to happen. If you see that Dunsparce double ghost line, this team might just be for you. Good game, well played. Oh, as much as I would love to do an entire video on us hard countering that Dunsparce double ghost line, I decided not to. But here we go. A bad lead this time. Jellicent, we make the play into our safe swap, Lickitung. So it's important to note that if you lose lead, Lickitung is the dedicated safe swap on this team. They're going to throw a surf and dip into a Medicham. So that's a smart move by them to chip and dip, because this is not as easy of a matchup for Medicham as one would think. It's actually very, very close. So getting that chip damage in was quite nice for them. But they did allow us to get way ahead on energy, and we are firing off Body Slam number 2. And if they don't throw a move, they will lose this mid-game matchup. So they realize they do have to throw a move, and likely just the Ice Punch, and we will not make it to another Body Slam in time. And that is fine. This leaves us with a little bit of resisted farm for our Deoxys here. This is just an Ice Punch. It does no damage. Deoxys, one of the best answers to Medicham in the meta. And we do get that nice resisted farm down, and we're going to look to go for the Psycho Boost here. If you're going to swap out, you might as well maximize your efforts. We go for the Psycho Boost, and they let it go. So now it's Lanturn time. Oh, and they've got a Dugong in the back, so very interesting. I'm not seeing nearly as many Dugongs as I thought I would be seeing in the Retro Cup, but here we are nonetheless. We go for the Thunderbolt, and they shield. So very interesting. They are putting all of their chips onto this Dugong, and they kind of have to. We call the bait. It's just an Icy Wind. They generally like to go for the Icy Wind first to take a little bit of the sting off of your attack stat, and we are just going to fire right back with another Thunderbolt, grabbing the final shield. That was very interesting to see. So now I was thinking there's a very good chance that they would go for the drill run. So we do shield, and they bait us again. That is unfortunate. So now we are 2 times debuffed. We're keeping an eye on the switch clock. So now we catch the next move on the Deoxys. This definitely has to be the drill run. Oh, you love to see it. So we caught the super effective drill run onto Deoxys, and we were able to clear the debuffs, leaving with energy as well. This is how you get ahead in Pokemon Go Battle League, my friends. And we add insult to injury to the Jellicent, and they realized it was over. It was definitely over for them, unfortunately. Good game, well played. Lanturn was proving to be quite effective in the Retro Cup, and here we go. This is a bad lead, just like with Jellicent, you go into Lickitung. Lickitung, again, is the dedicated safe swap on this team. They usually will look to chip and dip. That's what they did with the Jellicent, and that's what it looks like they're doing with the Frostlass, and yeah, they did chip and dip into a Shadow Venusaur. So that's very interesting. That's not something I was expecting to see. But here we are nonetheless. Going to fire off this Body Slam. They do tank one. And going to go for the next one, but they decide to CMP tie us. So I don't want to go down with all this energy here. So we will look to play out the ones and see what they want to do. They will likely shield this because the Deoxys Frostlass matchup is very good for their Frostlass, and we will not shield again. They will outpace us to the third because it's 6, 6, and 5 for the Frenzy Plant cycles on Venusaur, and we will let that go. We just wanted to get it relatively low, and this is a squishy Shadow, so we can farm down with resisted counters. We do tank a Shadow Frenzy Plant because we are quite bulky as Defense Form Deoxys here. Still in the yellow, and we do get the resisted farm down. So now I'm fully expecting that Frostlass to come back in. They are thinking long and hard, so going to throw this Psycho Boost here. Going to chip and dip into our Lanturn, and I hope that it can do something here for us. Shields are even. They let that go, and they're staying in a little bit. Oh, they wanted to set up a catch. They make a brilliant catch onto a Walrein. Very nice play by them. But we know that they are in a very tough spot because Walrein is not a good answer to Lanturn. We outpaced them thoroughly. They have to make it all the way to an EQ, so we are just going straight for this Thunderbolt, and they let it go. Holy smokes, this is over. Oh, this is over for our opponent. They were likely trying to call a bait. That's a tough spot for them. They kind of had to. We take a Shadow Ball all day with Stab from Frostlass, no problem. And they do promptly top left, as it was not trending in the right direction for them. Good game, well played. So as you can see, not only does this Lanturn team dominate the Dunsparce double ghost line, it can work its way out of lead losses as well. And here we go, Haxorus, very interesting Pokemon for our team here. As kind of core breaks a little bit, because they do have Night Slash, which hits us pretty hard, and they're a hard wall to our Lanturn. So they make an aggressive play into their Lickitung, so we're going to chip this with a Psycho Boost, and then look to come in to the Mirror. I was thinking we could have come in with Lanturn, but there is that risk of them hitting us for super effective with the Power Whip, so I just elected to go the safe route and go into the Mirror at a health advantage. So that is where we are, just as with any very bulky Mirror matchup. Yeah, it can be quite tedious. We're both doing double resisted fast move pressure to each other, and these body slams do not hit for very much at all. We're going to throw this one, and we're going to need another one after this one. It's not going to KO. It does get them quite low, but there's no way that we could hope of farming them down. They take advantage of the misaligned switch clocks, which allows us to put some pressure on this core breaker known as Haxorus here, and we do grab a shield from them. So now we're going to aggressive swap into our Lanturn. I know that Haxorus is about as squishy as it gets. Might be top 3 squishiest Pokemon in the meta. I'm not kidding. So I was thinking a resisted Surf would get the job done, but they just have so much energy that we're actually going to have to go for the Thunderbolt. We're 2 times debuffed. I don't think a Surf will get it done as squishy as Haxorus is. So we go for the Thunderbolt and we take it out. That's a major obstacle out of the way, but we have another very bad Pokemon for us coming in the form of Dunsparce. Holy smokes, this team is unbelievable here, guys. Holy smokes. What a team to get matched up against. My goodness, gonna go for the Surf here. That's all we can really do at this point. I just want to get the damage off. It's double debuff damage at that. And we should have swapped out here. We shouldn't have allowed them to farm down. But we tried to do the old switcheroo, and they were on to us. What a play by them. What is going on here? Holy smokes. I wanted to do the old switcheroo because I figured they would blind throw, but they simul-swapped into their low-health Licky. That was an insane play. I'm thinking, what are you, a wizard? What kind of play is that? Holy smokes. My goodness, that just blew my mind, guys. But yeah, we're at the back-to-back here. I don't think it's going to happen. We had to go back-to-back. We were getting quite low, and this is double debuff. It's not going to be enough. Yeah, not enough. Very close. We made that as close as we could, but good game, well played to them. And by the way, guys, if you want to run this team and you don't have a Lickitung, you can run Greedent, Munchlax, or you can run Dunsparce as well. But here we go. Had an excellent lead coming in the form of Lapras, and they make a play into their own Deoxys. So what we're going to look to do here is chip this with a Thunderbolt. They'll definitely let that go. And then come in with Lickitung at a health advantage. Because now we're in a much more comfortable spot here. We don't have to shield anything either. We just need to land a Body Slam plus a few licks to get this Deoxys out of here. Not sure if they'll want to shield this Deoxys. They might be looking at this lick damage, yeah, and we do tank another move as well. That's the power of Lickitung in this meta, about as tanky as it gets here. It is the Psycho Boost. We lived that, no problem, and we do lick down. So now they come back in with the Lapras, and we are so gosh darn tanky that we make it to a Power Whip. Holy smokes, Lickitung, so clutch in this Retro Cup. It's a thing of beauty, and they let that go. Brilliant. We will take that all day. Gonna meet this with Lanturn, and holy smokes, guys, this totally threw me off. I just reacted. Autopilot kicked in on me, and yeah, we're in here up against a Fury Cutter Galvantula. We should have stayed in with our Lanturn because our Deoxys would have handled that Lapras no problem. But I was just thinking, you know, we had such a good matchup with our Lanturn on that Lapras that I just insta-swapped just as they did, but yeah, we kind of zigged when we should have zagged a little bit, but what we do have going for us here is that we have the shield advantage. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know my Fury Cutter Galvantula counts. This is not something you see every day, and this is not something I would recommend running. You don't want Fury Cutter in this very ghost-heavy meta. That's an insane moveset. Kind of annoying, to be honest, but they aggressive swap back into their Lapras. A lot of crazy back and forth action in this one. Holy smokes. We get rid of the Lapras. We did get a nice little overfarm as well, and we're going to go for the Surf here. We have been debuffed by their Lunge. Still does quite a bit, as Galvantula is about as squishy as it gets. So now we have to shield whatever this is. It would be Lights Out. They go for the Discharge there. That's such a crazy play. I think from that health range, you just go for the Lunge, but it is a moot point. We get to the Surf, and we are saying bye-bye to the very annoying Fury Cutter Galvantula. Holy smokes. What a crazy team. What a crazy battle. Good game, well played. And that last one was a crazy back-and-forth battle, but we got it done in the end. And here we go. Quagsire. Very interesting. Very neutral lead. We're going to stay right here because we don't want this thing finding its way to our Lanturn. That would be very bad for us. So we will stay right here for now at least and see what they want to do. They go right for the Stone Edge. We tank that, no problem. And I can't really go for Thunderbolt. That's why this is such an awkward lead to be met with. And they shield, so that's very interesting. Seeing that, I was committed to staying in on this lead here, but we're going to throw this next Psycho Boost. They do let it go and then make the play into Licky. They shielded that. They've got something to hide. We'll take this shield advantage and meet this with our Licky. And they go Mud Bomb here. So very odd. They go Stone Edge on Deoxys, and then they go Mud Bomb on Licky, which is absolutely more tanky than Deoxys. Very interesting play. But that is fine. They are still staying in. We gave them Switch, and they're still staying in. I wonder what they have in the back. This is very interesting. We do tank another Mud Bomb nonetheless, and we're just going to look to get to back-to-back Body Slams here. We're going to fire off Body Slam number 1. Not expecting a shield here from them, but they do shield. What in the world? Oh, that is very interesting. But we are happy to get rid of this thing. Going for this Body Slam here, saying bye-bye to the Quagsire. That is a major obstacle out of the way for our Lanturn. And they've got a Wall Rain in the back. So that's why they were fighting us so hard on the lead up against our Deoxys, as Deoxys, one of the best answers to Wall Rain in the Great League formats. And we know that. So we're going to come in with our Lanturn, and they insta-swapped into a Jelly. It was over. Holy smokes. You see why Lanturn is so good in this meta? It was absolutely going to sweep. Good game, well played. Again, guys, if you want to run this team and you don't have a Lickitung, you can run Dunsparce, Greedent, or Munchlax. Those are all excellent replacements in this meta. And here we go. Speaking of Lickitung, we've got one here on the lead. So the way I like to tackle the Lickitung lead is I will go for some chip damage. In this case, we're going for the Thunderbolt. They're not throwing, so we're going to get out of there relatively unscathed before they can get a charge move off into our own Licky for the mirror matchup here. And it seems like they're happy to stay in here. We just gave them Switch, so this may just be their best answer to a Licky on their team, so very interesting. Gonna go for the Body Slam, and there's no chance in any universe that we are farming down, so we will have to end up throwing another Body Slam here. We're just gonna absorb all this. No need to shield anything. They don't do very much damage here, as we can see. And they're gonna fire this one off. Gotta let it go and look to overfarm just a little bit here and go for the Body Slam here, just to be that much further ahead for whatever they decide to bring in. I'm not anticipating a shield. They have not shielded thus far. And they've got a Pelipper in the back, so very interesting. This is very good for our Lanturn here. And we do have a slight energy lead as we did overfarm a little bit. So going for this body slam, get a little bit of chip damage in where we can. And they have yet to throw a move. They were trying to catch. They do catch that double resisted body slam onto a Frostlass. So very interesting. The win con I'm recognizing lies with our Lanturn here. Shields are still up on both ends. So we're in a very interesting position here. Gonna go for this Psycho Boost here, grab a shield from them. And they're gonna have to throw a move because we will make it to another Psycho Boost here. And they do decide to finally throw. So now we have the shield advantage. This Frostlass has quite a bit of energy. We do still have a low health Lickitung here. So we're looking pretty good. We just have to tread lightly here and not make any wrong moves here. Because that Pelipper is absolutely loaded. Although the damage is resisted, if we were to tank a Shadow Ball from this Frostlass, we would be risking Hurricane range, which that Pelipper absolutely does have. So I'm going to play it safe and shield all of this from the Frostlass. They double bait us. Holy smokes. Oh, that was annoying. But they do aggressively come back in with their Pelipper here. And shields are down. We're fine tanking damage from Pelipper. It's all resisted. We did not want to have to tank a Shadow Ball. But unfortunately, they double baited us. What a play by them. So they do go Weather Ball plus Hurricane. That's the play for them. Maximize their energy. And speaking of maximized energy, we are absolutely capped out here. Going for Surf number 1 here. I did not see the Powder Snow go through. So I don't know if they lagged or if they're not throwing or if it was an invisible fast move. So I wanted to catch, but I wasn't sure where they were because I didn't see the Powder Snow come through. So we're not able to catch that, unfortunately. So this one got super close, but we lick them down just as the timer comes up. Holy smokes, that was a close one. Very, very close. Closer than it needed to be, but good game, well played. Oh, this Lanturn team was putting in the work in the Retro Cup. It was a fun time. And speaking of Lanturn, we've got one here on the lead. Very neutral lead here. So I kind of tackle Lanturn the same way I would something like a Lickitung. I just chip and dip into Licky and see what comes of it here. Pokemon that are extremely bulky like Lanturn, Lickitung, and others like that, it's really beneficial to chip and dip, especially with Deoxys when you're running Psycho Boost. And they meet us with a Kingdra here, so very interesting. We are ahead on energy. Gonna go for the body slam, grabbing an early shield from this Shadow Kingdra here. I do believe we actually live a Shadow Octazooka, but I'm not sure if we'll quite make it to another body slam. The Dragon Breath damage was just a little too OP. So glad to draw this out because it's a nightmare for our own Lanturn in the back. So now we can come back in with our own Deoxys. And because that Lanturn that they have didn't throw energy, we're still very healthy here. And we are tanking these Shadow Dragon Breaths with Stab like a champ here. Going to shield up the Octazooka. No attack drop. That is brilliant. Going to overload a little bit and go for the Thunderbolt. There is no reason for them to shield here. I do imagine they let this go, and they do. So now, going to be interesting to see what they come in with here. They led Lanturn. They do come back in with the Lanturn. So now what we're going to do, catch the Surf onto our own Lanturn. That was very easy to predict because we were 100% in Surf range. No need to overfarm there, and we do catch that successfully. And we draw out an Altaria. So this is looking somewhat okay here. The problem is the Dragon Breath damage, and we're gonna have our Deoxys is too low. We're gonna have to shield a potential Moonblast here. It wouldn't quite KO, but it would be getting us extremely low. So we do successfully shield that. No attack drop yet again from their Moonblast here. And now we will fire off a Thunderbolt here. This is getting sweaty. I'm not gonna lie, this is getting super, super sweaty. So we're kind of calculating here, They're going to go for the Surf again, and we elect to catch it on our Deoxys. What a waste of all that energy we overloaded on. I think what we could have done was look to try and combo play them. But I didn't want to risk a CMP sack because we would have lost that. And they let the Thunderbolt go. Holy smokes. Maybe they lost track of the energy. I don't know, or maybe it was hubris. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but hey, We win that one. We definitely should not have won that one, but maybe a little bit of hubris got the best of our opponent. I don't know, but we win nonetheless. That's the team, my friends. Good game, well played to them. And yeah, Lanturn in this very ghost-heavy meta. The two most common ghosts that are utilized in this meta happen to be pretty weak to Lanturn, that being Frostlass and Jellicent. The Frostlass matchup is quite dominant because we resist their Powder Snow damage, and they have to go all the way up to a Shadow Ball, and you can go straight Surf with Stab. You thoroughly outpace Frostlass, and I think it's pretty obvious how dominant we are up against Jellicent. They take super effective fast move pressure, and again, they have to go all the way up to a Shadow Ball, which makes Lanturn quite formidable in this team, on this team, excuse me. And we lead with Deoxys to catch all those Dunsparce leads. The most common double ghost line is Dunsparce, Frostlass, Jellicent. So this team can do quite well up against that. A lot of people are running that team. So if you're encountering it as much as I was, you might want to give this team a try. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.